Imagine deploying a piece of enterprise software that could just decide at any given moment to start speaking French.
Right, or just rewrite your core database without even asking.
Exactly. Or, confidently lie to your biggest client. I mean, in traditional coding, that scenario is basically impossible unless you've been hacked. Right.
Yeah, totally. Because you write the logic, the code compiles, and the application just executes.
Right. But in this 2026 landscape of AI prompt engineering, if you aren't careful, that exact catastrophic scenario happens literally every single day.
It does. And it happens because people fundamentally misunderstand the actual material they're working with.
Yeah, they really do.
They think they're just chatting with this highly intelligent intern, but in reality, they are attempting to program a probabilistic reasoning engine.
And they're doing it using the messiest, most ambiguous programming language ever invented.
Right. Human conversation.
Which is exactly why we are here today. So, welcome to this customized deep dive.
Glad to be here.
If you are listening to this, you are someone who really wants to cut through the noise. You want to gain knowledge quickly and thoroughly.
And you're probably tired of the endless trial and error approach to AI that, everyone else seems to be stuck in.
Exactly. Our mission today is to completely dismantle your mental model of what a prompt actually is. We are going to rebuild it from the ground up using the ChatGPT Prompt Engineering Guide 2026 Premium ebook.
Because we are way past the era of casual AI chatting.
We really are. Today, prompt engineering is a rigorous core discipline of software product design.
Yeah, and by the time we finish this deep dive, you will understand exactly how to build reliable, repeatable AI behaviors at a massive production scale.
The stakes have really shifted entirely, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
we used to view prompt engineering as this quirky hobbyist skill. You tweaked a sentence, you added the word please.
Right. You tried a different verb and just hope for a better output.
Exactly. But today, prompts are product architecture. They serve as the UI layer, the instruction layer, the reasoning scaffold, and the quality control mechanism.
All rolled into one single payload.
Right. And if a prompt fails in a production pipeline today, it creates a massive downstream catastrophe. It's really no different than pushing a critical bug in legacy code.
So the analogy I want to anchor us to today is this. The difference between casual prompting and production prompting is like the difference between writing a hasty, bullet-pointed script for a high school play.
And architecting a full enterprise-grade application.
Yes, exactly. Casual prompting is just exploratory. You just poke the system until it works.
But production prompting is engineered.
Right, and to get to that engineered state, we have to start with a blueprint. Let me throw a real-world scenario at you to sort of set this up.
Sure, go for it.
Let's say I need the AI to summarize a 20-page market research report. Historically, I would just paste the text in and type, summarize this.
We've all done it.
Right. And the output is, well, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's a bulleted list, and sometimes it's this 3-page essay that completely misses the point. Why is that happening?
It's happening because you are violating what we call the junior employee rule.
Okay, unpack that for me.
So I want you to visualize this. Imagine you hire a highly capable, infinitely fast, but extremely literal junior employee.
Okay, I'm picturing them.
Now, this person has zero context about your business, zero context about your clients, or what your goals are.
Right.
If you handed that human employee a 20-page report and just said, summarize this, would you blindly accept their output and publish it to your CEO?
Oh, definitely not. I wouldn't know if they were going to give me a 1-paragraph executive summary or a 5-page detailed breakdown.
Exactly.
I wouldn't even know if they understood the financial jargon in the report.
Right. So if you wouldn't accept the output from a human, given only your current prompt, your prompt is critically underspecified.
That makes total sense.
And that is exactly where the 8-part production prompt model comes in. To guarantee a reliable outcome, every single production prompt must define 8 specific components.
Okay, let's list them out.
They are role, goal, context, constraints, format, criteria, iteration, and recovery.
Wait, stop. You're telling me I need to define all 8 of those things just to get a basic summary?
Yes, for production.
At a certain point, aren't we spending more time engineering the prompt than it would take to just do the task manually?
Yeah.
Where's the break-even point here?
That is the most common pushback we hear, honestly.
Right.
And the answer really depends on scale.
Okay, how so?
Well, if you are summarizing one document, Once for your own personal reading, sure, just say summarize.
Right, keep it simple.
But if you are building an automated pipeline that summarizes 1,000 market reports every single morning
Oh, wow.
and feeds them directly into an executive dashboard, you absolutely cannot afford a single failure. That is the break-even point. It's about reliability at scale.
Okay, I see. Let's look at the mechanics of why these specific parts matter. Take role, for example.
Right, role is huge. A senior financial analyst reasons completely differently from a marketing intern.
Yeah, totally different paradigms.
If you don't define the role, the AI basically just averages out the internet's tone.
Okay, that makes sense. And the goal has to be singular, right? The guide is very clear that giving an AI multiple goals in one single prompt degrades the quality exponentially.
Yes, it really does. And that's because of how attention mechanisms work within the neural network itself.
Like how it focuses on the text.
Exactly. If you ask it to summarize the report, extract the key quotes, and draft an email to the marketing team.
That's three different things.
Right. The model's attention is divided across three vastly different cognitive tasks. It will basically do all three poorly.
So you isolate the goal.
Yes. Then you provide the context. You have to assume zero prior knowledge.
So I have to tell it why I need the summary.
Yes. Tell it why you need it and what prior decisions led to this moment.
Okay, then we get to constraints and format, which we will dig into deeply in a moment, but essentially that's the structural part.
Right. And then criteria acts as the grading rubric for the AI.
And iteration just acknowledges that we might need to loop this process. But the last one, recovery, that one really fascinates me.
Recovery is the absolute hallmark of a true production prompt.
Because it tells the AI what to do when things go wrong.
Exactly. What should the AI do when it hits a gap? If you feed it a blank document by mistake, its primary directive is usually just to be helpful.
Right, it wants to give you an answer no matter what.
So without a recovery protocol, it might actually hallucinate a summary based on just the file name.
Oh, wow, just to have something to say.
Yeah. A recovery instruction explicitly says, if the input document is blank or lacks financial data, output exactly this phrase: error, insufficient data.
So we take those 8 core concepts and we have to physically map them into the prompt itself.
Correct. The guide breaks this down into 10 structural layers.
And it really emphasizes that we are building a layered specification document. We aren't just writing a conversational sentence anymore.
Not at all. It's a highly structured format.
But I want to talk about how these layers actually interact with the AI's architecture, specifically this concept of negative constraints.
Oh, negative constraints are incredibly powerful.
The guide mentions we need to build a master prompt framework. It lists mission, background, inputs, process instructions, constraints, output format, and quality criteria.
Right, that's the full template.
But it leans heavily on telling the AI what not to do. Y is do not do X, so much more powerful than just telling it do Y.
To understand this, we really have to look at the mechanics of how a large language model actually functions.
Okay, let's break that down.
Think of the model's training data as an infinitely vast, multi-dimensional library.
Okay.
This is its latent space. It contains every Reddit argument, every Wikipedia article, every legal brief, and every piece of fan fiction ever written.
Wow, just a massive soup of information.
Exactly. When you ask it a question, you are basically illuminating a massive section of that library.
Right.
Its natural mathematical tendency is to draw from everywhere, to give you the most statistically probable average of all that illuminated information.
So if I ask it to write a professional email, it might accidentally pull in some weird internet slang or a passive-aggressive tone, just because those things are statistically adjacent in the training data.
Precisely. Human intuition is to guide someone by telling them exactly what path to walk down.
Right, like just be professional.
But with an AI, you are actually much better off building massive, unscalable walls to block off the paths you don't want it to take.
Okay, so that's where negative constraints come in.
Yes. Negative constraints like do not invent facts, do not use passive voice, do not exceed 500 words. These act like a scalpel.
So you're chopping away the bad option.
You're actively shrinking the latent space.
Yeah.
You are mathematically zeroing out the probability of those unwanted responses.
That is so interesting.
The model is forced down the specific narrow path you actually want because you've walled off the rest of the library.
Ah. So you're literally reducing the menu of options it's even allowed to choose from. That completely changes how I view the constraints section of a prompt.
It's not just a polite request at all.
It's a structural boundary.
Exactly. And another crucial layer in this blueprint is layer 10, few shot examples.
Right, the guide talks a lot about this.
If negative constraints are the walls, few shot examples are the GPS coordinates of the actual destination.
I love that analogy.
You can spend 3 paragraphs trying to describe a specific JSON format.
Which is painful to write.
Extremely. Or you can just provide one perfect example of an input and your desired output.
Showing instead of telling.